Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. As I said earlier on, I'm going to be giving you an update on the latest transfer news that is currently going on in the press and all that, as I updated you on my recent video earlier. So today I'm going to give you quite a few transfer rumours that are going on in the media. I'm going to give you a bit of Chelsea's, Liverpool's, and I'm going to give you a bit of Arsenal's as well. As I currently said, there's lots to discuss on this video today, so if you do consider subscribe as always, and if you do consider drop a like on the video as well. So we are going to start with a bit of Liverpool's transfer news. So reportedly Liverpool have got a few potential targets, they're interested in. They're interested in Borussia Dortmund's Christian Pulisic. Obviously, Liverpool and Chelsea were the biggest spenders during the course of last summer, as we all currently know. But Chelsea, lacking in the attacking third, looking for they're looking for an attacker of Chelsea, and they are linked to quite a few players at Chelsea. So Liverpool linked with Pulisic. They also linked with Timo Werner. Now, Timo Werner potentially has been discussing about potentially maybe coming to play in the Premier League. He is 22 years old. Reportedly Bayern Munich have been interested in Timo Werner as well, but Liverpool reportedly interested in him as well. I think he's keen on staying in Germany. He's Timo Werner. He's 22 years of age, as I said, but reported Liverpool have been in discussions about potentially making a move for Timo Werner. But he's had ambitions about coming to play in the Premier League at some point as Timo Werner. He is only 22 years of age. He's good, he's strong, he's quick, and he is proven to be a really good prolific goal scorer as Timo Werner. So potentially he's at RP Leipzig. Obviously, we know Liverpool got a deal done in the summer for Naby Keita, who has delivered the goods for Liverpool fantastically well. So Timo Werner is at RP Leipzig. He's been doing very, very well. He's an ex-Stuttgart player, where he's risen up the ranks with Stuttgart, as we all know, and potentially become the youngest player, the youngest ever goal scorer with them as well. And he was the youngest player to represent Stuttgart at the time. Was the player, and he made about 103 appearances for Stuttgart. Stuttgart didn't do very, very well for Stuttgart, Timo Werner, as we all know. But since he's come around RP Leipzig, he's been very, very good. When he was playing international at the youth level, he was a prolific goal scorer as well. He made his senior debut for Germany in 2017, did Timo Werner as well. But since he's been at RP Leipzig, his performances have been very, very good. He has been there since 2016 as the player, and he's become the youngest player to make over 150 appearances in the Bundesliga as well as the player, and he's won quite a lot of individual awards. He is 22. I think he'd do well if he came to the Premier League, Timo Werner, but he actually could potentially make a move to Bayern Munich, as I said. But Liverpool have reportedly been interested in him. A few Premier League teams have been interested in Timo Werner in the past, but he's a really, really good striker, and he's only 22 years of age. So if he was to come to the Premier League, he'd grow and develop more, and I think he'd establish himself well in the Premier League, with Timo Werner. If you put him alongside that attacking trio in Liverpool's team with Salah, Firmino and Mane, I think he'd complement them fantastically well, as I currently said. But that's been a potential Liverpool target as Timo Werner. As I said, he's broken records, and he holds the most records of being the youngest player. Youngest player to make 150 appearances in Bundesliga, and he was at the time the youngest player when he was a lot younger in his prime, when he was at Stuttgart. To represent Stuttgart, he was one of the youngest. He was one of the youngest players as well. But he is a very, very good player. He's Timo Werner, and Liverpool have reportedly been interested in him, and so too have Bayern Munich have been interested. I think he's considering making the move to Bayern Munich because I think the player does want to. He's got a lot of time ahead of him, but I still think he wants to remain in Germany because obviously he is highly experienced in Germany as well as Timo Werner, as we all know. Potential of a Liverpool and Chelsea target is now Christian Pulisic because Chelsea want to strengthen up their attack. Sarri wants to bolster his squad more, as I said. So potentially Christian Pulisic. So reportedly Borussia Dortmund are thinking about eyeing a replacement out for Christian Pulisic. Whether they're willing to do business in January or not, I do not know, because as I read a couple of weeks ago, they were willing they wanted to keep him. According to Borussia Dortmund director, they wanted to keep Pulisic until the end of the season. But reportedly Chelsea, want to get a deal agreed in January for around 50-60 million pounds. That's what the current player is rated at, Christian Pulisic. He's on contract till 2020 with Borussia Dortmund, but reportedly Borussia Dortmund have been keeping tabs jabs on Thorgan Hazard, I think he's called. He's a Borussia Mönchengladbach player. So reportedly, Borussia Dortmund have been keeping an eye out on him to obviously place Pulisic. They are willing to sanction Pulisic just as long as Chelsea and Liverpool are willing to meet what Dortmund are demanding. I think it's going to be for around 50, 60 million pounds. He could go in January, but what the reports I read a couple of weeks ago that Borussia Dortmund will let him officially depart next summer, but a fee will actually be agreed in the January transfer window. As I said, I think Christian Pulisic is keen on the move to the Premier League, as I said, but obviously Chelsea are lacking in that attacking third, and they're in the search for getting another attacker in because Morata's future's in doubt. He could potentially leave. They've got an 18-year-old Callum Hudson there who doesn't get off the bench. He's hardly played for Chelsea this season. He's coming to an end of his contract. Well, I think he's got 18 months left or something on his contract. There's been no signs of him signing a new contract. Callum Hudson for Chelsea, but he's out of favour with Chelsea. Morata's out of favour at Chelsea. Eden Hazard, there's been talks about him going to Real Madrid next summer as well. So Chelsea obviously identify replacements, and Pulisic reportedly in the recent reports did say he would rather join Chelsea than Liverpool, but there's still reports coming out that Liverpool are still interested in him. Christian Pulisic, he's risen up the ranks fantastically well as Christian Pulisic. He's been in the senior squad with Dortmund since 2016, strong, quick, very, very good in the air. And he can prove to score goals, and he mainly is a winner. You can put him in the attacking midfield as well, Christian Pulisic. But reportedly, Borussia Dortmund are eyeing out a replacement because they know he's going to leave. I think Chelsea are still amongst the favourites to get Christian Pulisic. Liverpool are also interested in him. Obviously, Klopp's worked for him in the past, and Klopp would welcome him to Anfield. And obviously, Liverpool owners are American, FSG owners are American, and the player is American himself, Christian Pulisic. But there has been a lot of rumours going on about that as well. So reportedly, Liverpool are interested in RB Leipzig's Timo Werner, as I said. He's 22 years of age. He is still young in his prime, but he's a very, very good, prolific goal scorer, as I said, and he does bring you a lot of goals. He's proven himself very, very well with RB Leipzig. He's been playing in senior football since like 2013 because he was at Stuttgart for 3 years. He became the youngest player to represent Stuttgart, as I said. He made 103 appearances, for Stuttgart. As I said, wasn't so good, but he grew and developed more, and he's become a sensational player, an exceptional player since he's been at RB Leipzig at Timo Werner. But I've heard about his name mentioned before. But yeah, became the youngest player to represent Stuttgart. Stuttgart became the youngest goal scorer ever, and now since he's been at RB Leipzig, I think he's made around over 150 odd appearances, in the Bundesliga as Timo Werner as well. So reported Liverpool are linked with him. Chelsea and Liverpool are still linked to Christian Pulisic, as I said. But another name was being mentioned that Chelsea are linked to it. As he updated yesterday, Chelsea are also interested in Lyon's Nabil Fekir. Now, Chelsea recommended a new agent in just recently to have discussions over Chelsea getting the pursuit of Nabil Fekir. Now, allegedly, during the course of last summer, Liverpool had literally agreed a fee for the player, which was around £50 million. So reportedly, initially, Liverpool had agreed a fee for Nabil Fekir. Yeah, Liverpool had agreed a fee, but I think something to do with a knee injury that he suffered was this journey's medical or something like that. The deal never materialised, so Liverpool never got the current player. Nabil Fekir, as I said, he's risen up the ranks with Lyon. He's been in the senior squad with Lyon since 2013, as I said, and he's proven to be a very, very good player as Nabil Fekir. But Chelsea could be amongst the favourites to get Nabil Fekir in. As I said, since he's made his senior debut in 2013 for Lyon, he's gone on to score over 50 goals and make over 150 appearances for Lyon as Nabil Fekir. But his name's been mentioned quite a few times. But since Chelsea have recommended this new super agent in, he's the one that's been having discussions regarding Nabil Fekir. But Liverpool have also, been linked with him as well, Nabil Fekir. So that's another potential target that Chelsea are interested in. Also, you've got Liverpool also interested in Lorenzo Insigne, Napoli player. As I said, reported Liverpool are interested in him. It did say in the press the other day that Liverpool were reportedly willing to offer £1 million, 100 million euros, I think it was, something like that. I still think the players, he got like 3.5 years left on his current contract. As I said, he's been at Napoli majority of his career. I think he'd do very, very well if he came to the Premier League because his versatility is good. He's good at putting balls into the box. He can play on each wing. You can put him you can put him central, play him centrally as well. This Lorenzo Insigne. Liverpool have been in talks about this, reportedly about Lorenzo Insigne. It was in the press the other day. But reportedly, I don't know how much, I think they'd recommend the one around 100 million euros for Lorenzo Insigne as well. But being at Napoli majority of his career, made his professional began his professional career with them in 2009 and made his senior debut in 2010. Lorenzo Insigne. Then he went to quite a few teams on the loan, then went back to Napoli in 2012 as well, did the player. But reportedly Liverpool are interested in him. But Liverpool were the biggest spenders during the course of summer. They've got a great team. Klopp's invested, in that Liverpool team in the last couple of seasons. They have got huge talented players in their squad of Liverpool. They've got a great attacking trio. As I said, and I think it's their turn for the league this season, because Liverpool fans will be happy, because Manchester City obviously slipped up. Manchester City lost at home to Crystal Palace 3-2. And, one of the goals, Andy Townsend's volley, was absolutely superb. Who'd have thought Manchester City would have lost at home. They have had a couple of blips recently, losing to Chelsea the other week, losing at home to Crystal Palace. And it was also a shock Chelsea losing at home to Leicester. But I think Chelsea do need to get some reinforcements in, and Sammy needs to get some reinforcements in. I think they do need an attacker to Chelsea. They haven't got a great attacking line of Chelsea. I think they need another attacker in there, the Chelsea. But yeah, it was a shock. Chelsea losing at home to Leicester, Manchester City losing at home to Crystal Palace. When was the last time them two lost at home on the same week? I can't remember. It must have been over a decade ago now. But yeah, that was a shock. As I currently said, we'll be happy about that. We still remain 8 points behind top four. We're 19 points behind top. As I said, so I think it's going to be Liverpool's season this season, as I said. So I'm giving you updates on potential transfer rumours that are going on in the media. What else I'm going to say? But yeah, Chelsea reportedly could be set to getting rid of Morata. I think Chelsea are considering selling him in January as well, reportedly. Eden Hazard, I'm not too sure about him. Chelsea trying to sign him a new contract, as I said. But Alvaro Morata, there has been talks as well with Chelsea. Chelsea are also linked with AC Milan's Gonzalo Higuain. That's been going out in the press in the last couple of days. Now, there's been talks. Chelsea have had discussions with Juventus and AC Milan over this because obviously Gonzalo Higuain's proven to be a prolific goal scorer in the past, good at leading the lines, very, very clinical, very agile, and he's a good finishing. He's got great finishing ability as a player. But reportedly at the moment, Gonzalo Higuain is on loan with AC Milan. Milan had paid a fee of around £16 million from Juventus to get him on loan, Gonzalo Higuain. Gonzalo Higuain, as I said, but Sarri's a big fan of the player. Sarri's obviously worked with him in the past, when Sarri was at Napoli and when Gonzalo Higuain was at Napoli, but he's a very, very good player, as I said. He's on loan now at Milan. Milan have had to pay a fee of around, £60 million to get the player on loan, but he's done very, very good in his playing career. I think he's in his 30s, 31-year-old, Gonzalo Higuain, but Chelsea have been linked to him. There's been talks of a swap deal between Gonzalo Higuain and Alvaro Morata because Morata's no longer under Sarri's plans, as I currently said, and obviously he's not going to get in the starting 11 as Alvaro Morata. I think he's been recently injured as well. I think he's had a difficult reign in the Premier League, since he's come to the Premier League. Chelsea paid £60 million for him. Alvaro Morata's reportedly keen on making the move to AC Milan. So Gonzalo Higuain obviously began his career with River Plate, risen up the ranks very, very well. Then he had 6 years with Real Madrid, and he did very, very well with Real Madrid. He won, I think, 3 La Ligas and quite a few other honours. He scored, I think he scored 107 goals in like 190 appearances, so he's a prolific goal scorer there. Napoli got him. He was at Napoli for like 3 years or so. One of his season scored an outstanding 36 goals, as I currently said. And then potentially after that, Juventus got him in 2016 for like 89, 90 million pounds, and he won the domestic double in his first 2 seasons with Juventus, obviously before he was loaned out to AC Milan as well. He's won quite a lot of honours as Gonzalo Higuain, and now he's currently at Milan, as I currently said, just on loan, as I said. But yeah, Morata, he hasn't really developed the goods at Chelsea since he's come. At Chelsea, to be quite honest with you, Chelsea are looking to get him out. As I said, this is why Chelsea are in the market to get a couple of players in the January transfer window, because Sarri wants to bolster his squad up. As I said, so Morata, obviously, he's been in the Premier League since 2017. He obviously had a 2-year spell with Juventus where he won the domestic double of Copa Italia and Serie A as well. But majority of his playing career, he was at Real Madrid, because he began his senior. Made his senior debut with Real Madrid in 2010. As we all know, won quite a lot of honours with Real Madrid as well, Morata. But Chelsea did pay £60 million for Morata, but he's out of favour now at Chelsea under Sarri, as we all currently know. So yeah, there's a bit more rumours to update you on. Now we'll go to a bit of Arsenal's rumours. Reportedly, Arsenal have got guaranteed a few players that can leave, as we all currently know. So we know Aaron Ramsey's guaranteed to leave at the end of the season on the free, who's been at Arsenal over the decade. You've got Danny Welbeck, that's out for this season. He's set to leave on a free next summer. And they've got a few injury problems in the team of Arsenal, as we all currently know. And I think Unai is the right man for Arsenal. I think he's going to consider, buying in January, because they got 5 players last summer, did Arsenal, as we all currently know. But potentially, yeah, they did win. They were back to winning ways by winning by 3-1 against Burnley. As I said, I watched bits of the game, but yeah, they've got great players such as Aubameyang and Lacazette. I think they are a fantastic partnership in Arsenal's team. I think Torrente or whatever you call him, he's a very, very good player. As well, but I still think Arsenal have got defensive issues. I still think they need to strengthen up defensively as well. But they did go on a 22-match unbeaten run, did Arsenal, obviously. But obviously they lost the last 2 before the Burnley game. But they're back to winning ways now. Beat Burnley at home 3-1, as I currently said. But I think Ozil did participate in that game, but Ozil's future is still uncertain with Arsenal. But reportedly, Inter Milan have reportedly been interested now. Reports are coming out from the media that reportedly this Turkish team are interested in getting Mesut Ozil. I think they're called Istanbul Summer. The president of this Istanbul, Basia, I can't pronounce the surname, but it is a Turkish team. And according to that president, he said he'll do well to get Mesut Ozil. As I said, his future's still uncertain. He may still have a future at Arsenal. I don't think he's fully committed his future at Arsenal, because obviously he's failed to adapt himself this season with Arsenal under Unai Emery. He had a great start to the season, but recently he's been struggling for consistency. He's been lacking that form. He's been a bit, lethargic in Arsenal's midfield when he has been playing, but he has missed a lot of crucial games this season for Arsenal as Mesut Ozil. But obviously he signed a new contract last year worth £350,000 a week, as we all know, because there were a few teams linked with him last year when he was coming to an end of his contract, but he ended up signing a deal with £350,000 a week with Arsenal. As we all know, that time, before he signed that new deal, Manchester United were actually linked with Arsenal's Mesut Ozil, as I currently said. But yeah, reportedly Inter Milan's representatives have been in discussions about Ozil. Now the latest team's being mentioned is a team from Turkey called Istanbul Summer. I can't pronounce the surname, so anyone can let me know in the comments what the surname is. It's Summer. I can't pronounce some of the team's names, so I do apologise about that. But Ozil, very, very good under Arsene Wenger. He is Premier League proven. As I said, he's been in the Premier League now with Arsenal about 6 years or something now, is it? But he is a very, very good player. He's Mesut Ozil. When he does get that form, when he does get that game time, when he does communicate well with Arsenal's team, he can be a very, very good player. He's won a lot of individual awards. He was good when he was in his younger days as well, when he was with Real Madrid and Werder Bremen, when he was really young in his prime with Schalke as well, where he'd obviously began his career and risen up the youth system as well. But Ozil's future is uncertain, as I currently said. So yeah, there's a bit of transfer news to update you on of what's going on. So I did start with Timo Werner. Liverpool are reportedly interested in him. I think Liverpool have been linked with Timo Werner in the past as well, but he's a very, very good young athlete. He's only 22 years old, so he has got years ahead of him, to grow and develop and get even better. But he wasn't that good at Stuttgart, when he was a lot younger. But, since he's made the move to Leipzig, his performances have been absolutely sensational. Timo Werner's. Reportedly, Bayern Munich are interested in him as well. Bayern Munich still got Lewandowski. Lewandowski's aging up now. I don't even know how old he is. I think he's in his 30s, Lewandowski. They've got, I think he's Arjen Robben still obviously a great, great player in his early days, Arjen Robben, with Chelsea and all that. But he's injury prone, isn't he? He's Arjen Robben suffered a lot of injuries during his playing career as well. They've obviously got James Rodriguez in there as well, Bayern Munich. So they have got quite a few aging players of Bayern Munich, as we all know. But yeah, guys, as I said, it was a great win yesterday for Manchester United, winning by 5-1. The first time we have scored 5 goals since the Alex Ferguson era in the Premier League. It was a very, very good performance. As I said, I was very, very pleased. Let's not get too carried away. It is only Cardiff City. As I said, but without a doubt, biggest win of the season, best performance of the season, and I credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for the instructions he demanded out to the players. And I'm glad that the players went with the expectations of what Solskjaer was demanding. I'm glad the players went along with this, as I currently said. Great performance, as I said, and it could have been more than 5-1. As I said, I thought Martial was very influential. I thought Rashford played very, very well, scored a good free kick. I thought Matic and Herrera did well in the midfield, pulling the strings as well in the midfield. But every individual player, played very, very well. Solskjaer praised them in his post-match interview, and he said they all played well. It was good to see the fullbacks playing high up the pitch as well. The team communicated well. The work rate was very, very good. The passing was neat, was very, very precise on the ball. We were very, very clinical, and it was positive football, very, very energetic, very exciting to watch, and that was the style of play we saw under Alex Ferguson. So Solskjaer's style of play was absolutely amazing, and hopefully now he just motivated the team. The team looked motivated, so that's down to Solskjaer, and he's motivated them, as I said. But good for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think he understands the philosophy of this club. He obviously knows the culture of the club. He knows the club inside out, as we all currently know, because he was a great player for 11 years from 1996 to 2007. As we all know, won a lot of honours, scored 126 goals in 366 appearances, as we all currently know, and he was a great player. Obviously managed the Manchester United reserve team, as we all know. And he didn't have a good defensive record, with Cardiff and Mould as a manager. He won 2 Norwegian titles with Mould as a manager, but with Cardiff, he got Cardiff City relegated. He was only in charge for like 30 games with Cardiff, as we all currently know. But yeah, great first winner for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. And he knows to say if he progresses well, he gets Manchester United winning games, and we win every game now to the end of the season, or we do get into the top 4, which we're still 8 points behind. Who's to say won't get the job on a full basis? As I said, the Manchester United may give him the contract, as I said, but I just don't see him getting the job on a full-time basis, as I currently said, because Ed Woodward's got other potential managers in his mind, such as Pochettino or Zinedine Zidane, that are potentially the 2 favourites to come in at the end of the season, as I currently said. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, we had to pay 1.8 million to lend him from Mould, as we all know. But he knows the traditions of the club. He knows the club inside out, as we currently all know. So he's got a managerial experience, as I said, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he was a great player. Solskjaer was very, very happy, with the performance. Pogba was absolutely world class yesterday. He ran the midfield, very, very good. But I said these players that weren't playing to the potential under Jose Mourinho. I think the brilliance of Solskjaer, the mentality of Solskjaer is going to improve these players. As I currently said, and Lingard was fantastic yesterday. He was generating pace, was very, very good. He was creating space as well, which was very, very good. I thought the movement on the width as well was very, very good with Martial and Lingard. As I said, good to see Martial get his name on the score sheet. He's been fantastic this season, when he has been fully match fit. He was injured for quite a bit, but I think he's been fantastic anywhere this season. Anthony Martial has been definitely our best player, as we all know. It'd be good to see Lingard get 2 goals, also get an assist. I think Pogba got 2 or 3 assists in the game as well. The best goal was the third, in my opinion. The build-up play was just absolutely amazing. The football was just absolutely amazing to watch, and I haven't seen that for a long time. So, as I was saying, that does excite me, as I said. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has literally promised the whole team. He's promised that everyone's going to get the opportunity, like promoting the youth, as I said, which is a very, very good thing. But yeah, great man. I think he'll do a great job with Manchester United. I won't get too overconfident, because it was only Cardiff who are sitting near the relegation zone, who are literally a very, very poor team. They have got problems of Cardiff City, but it was a very, very good away performance of Manchester United. And it's since Solskjaer's coming, his arrival into the club as interim manager, he's happy about fulfilling the managerial role. But since he's come in, it's lifted the mood in the players. It's lifted the mood in the fans. And confidence is just back now at Manchester United. Now that Jose Mourinho's gone and Solskjaer has been recommended into the job. As well, he said there's a lot of managers that would like to manage Manchester United. And he did admit he'd like to manage Manchester United on a full-time basis as well. But reportedly, Solskjaer is reportedly going to get around £50 million to spend in January. Potentially the board and Ed Woodward would rather save money until next summer when we get a full-time manager in. But I think 80% of the fans now, at least, would want the club to recommend Solskjaer in, on a full-time basis as our full-time manager, as I currently said. But yeah, reportedly he's only allowed to get loan signings in January, according to the Mirror and the Metro and all that of what I read this morning as I updated you on my current affairs video, what I did this morning. But we'll see who he gets in. Potentially he's got to still think about getting, there's a lot of players coming to the end of the deals. He's got to think about contract renewals, how he's going to line up every game. As I said, tactics, and his tactics were absolutely spot on as well, so I credit him for that. But yeah. His tactics were absolutely spot on, as I said. But reportedly, Man United we're linked with Toby Alderweireld. We're linked with Douglas Costa. His name's been mentioned in the last couple of days. So we're interested in getting a centre-back in, a right winger in. Reports were coming out today that Man United are interested in Bournemouth's Joshua King. As I said, reportedly now Tottenham are interested in Joshua King as well. But obviously Solskjaer's had experience of working with Joshua King, because obviously when he was rising up the ranks, Joshua King, since he's been at Bournemouth, he's been a very, very good striker as Joshua King, to be quite fair. He's made like 115 appearances with Bournemouth and scored like 35 goals. He's a prolific goal scorer, as he has proven. He's very, very agile. His finishing's supposed to be very, very good. And he has done very, very well with Bournemouth and under Eddie Howe. Reportedly, the player is rated at around £25 million, but reportedly Manchester United are interested in him. Solskjaer's identified him as maybe Manchester United's first signing, Joshua King. But reportedly, Solskjaer's had experience, because obviously when Solskjaer was managing the reserve team, he was there and he was rising up the youth system at the time. We got him in, he began his career with United. We got him from Valerenga. He risen up the youth system. I think he only got in the first team once. Did Joshua King, and then he went He went to quite a few teams on loan, didn't he? He went to Preston on loan. He went to Hull on. He went to Preston on loan. Borussia Mönchengladbach on loan. He went to Hull on loan, and he went to Blackburn on loan. And then after the Blackburn loan, I think he officially signed for Blackburn for a couple of years. And then potentially after that, Bournemouth did get him, as we all know, and he has been at Bournemouth since 2015. So potentially Man United are in market for another attacker, because Lukaku's been struggling for form this season. Obviously, he's on compassionate leave now, as we all know. So I think he's going to miss the Huddersfield game, as we all know. But as I said, I think the brilliance of Solskjaer can dramatically improve this team. Can improve Romelu Lukaku included. As I said, we know he's Premier League proven. He scored 27 goals in his first season, so he has failed to replicate the form, that he did in his first season. Romelu Lukaku, he scored like 46 goals for Belgium, as we all know. And he's proven in the Premier League. Everyone talks about his first touch, and he's a big game bottler, as we all know. But I think brilliance for Solskjaer can improve him. Sanchez is obviously still injured until January, as we all currently know. But yeah, I think he's set to come back from injury in January. So it was a bad injury that he suffered, Alexis Sanchez, but he could still leave. I don't know if he'll stay or leave. But I said again, the brilliance, the mentality of Solskjaer will actually improve him, because he's going to give everyone the opportunity, including the youth, as he currently said. And potentially, so that's very, very good to see. And I think under Solskjaer, Fred's going to get more game time that he has been calling out for, which he hasn't been getting this season. When we had Mourinho, he wasn't getting game time. Pereira, same with Pereira as well, and just Pereira. Credit to Solskjaer, he brought Fred and Pereira on yesterday, and Marian Fellaini. So he did say he's going to give him all the chance. Give him a chance. Juan Mata as well. Will he get more game times from the start, which he hasn't been getting this season? But I still hope players do sign new contracts at United. I want Mata to sign a new deal. I want Martial to sign a new long-term deal. I know we've activated that one-year extension on his contract to keep him at the club at least till 2020. Martial's agent has actually come out and he's actually very, very pessimistic about Martial signing a new long-term deal. Martial's representative had confirmed during the course of the summer that he demanded that Martial wanted to actually leave the club, as we all currently know. But, I hope Martial stays, as I currently said, because I really, really like him. I think Rashford and Martial are good two young prospects, and I think they'll grow and develop fantastically well under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think his managerial style at Manchester United suits the club. It suits the chaplains of the club, and of course he knows about the club as well. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? But give it a bit more time. Keep the performances. Keep performing like that we showed yesterday, and we will get the result we want. And you never know. After these 6 months, if he gets us in the top 4 and he gets the right results, we beat the big teams. Who to say he won't get offered the job on a full-time basis? As I said, it is unlikely, as I currently said, but you just never know, as I currently said. But going back to the beginning of the video, of what I said to you guys, I'll give you a bit of what's going on with Liverpool's transfer rumours. I'll give you a bit of update what's going on with Chelsea's transfer rumours as well. So I said Liverpool are reportedly interested in, Bayern Munich are also interested in RB Leipzig's Timo Werner. Reportedly, Timo Werner, as I said, he's been very, very good since he's been at RB Leipzig, as we all currently know. As I said, when he was at Stuttgart, he risen up the youth system with Stuttgart, and then he played in the senior team with them for 3 seasons. He became the youngest player to represent them, the youngest ever goal scorer with them as well. And he actually made over a century appearances during his playing tenure with Stuttgart. And then he potentially, RB Leipzig got him and potentially then became the youngest player, to appear in 150-odd Bundesliga games or something like that as well. So, yeah, he does hold records for, becoming the youngest player on a lot of stuff. Does the current player, but he's grown and developed fantastically well, and he has turned into an exceptional player. And he's only 22 years of age, and I think if he was to go to Liverpool, Timo Werner, he has talked about coming to the Premier League in the past, and I think under a manager like Jurgen Klopp, who knows what he's doing, he's got a great managerial style at Liverpool Football Club, and he's got that mentality. He's invested in the last couple of seasons, got Liverpool playing great football. They are top of the league. I think he turned Timo Werner into even a more better player, would Jurgen Klopp. As I said, for me, potentially Liverpool don't need any signings anyway. I think they've got a great side now. They've addressed the defensive problems. They've got Virgil van Dijk in there, who's addressed their defensive problems, because defensively they're very, very good this season, as we all currently know. But yeah, we'll see how it goes anyway. So there's the latest bit of transfer news to update you on. I've just updated you on Christian Pulisic as well. Borussia Dortmund are eyeing out replacement, reportedly Thorgan Hazard. Reportedly Borussia Dortmund are eyeing a replacement out for. Obviously, Chelsea could get Christian Pulisic. Liverpool are still there, as I said, because Chelsea need an attacker because they are lacking in that final third of the pitch, and they have got problems in their attacking area of Chelsea because they've got Callum Hudson who's not starting for them. He's 18, no sign of him signing a new contract. Morata, he could be set to leave in January as well. There has been talks about Eden Hazard as well, so this is why Sarri's in the market to try and get a few players into the team as well. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, like below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing to the channel as always. And maybe one more live video coming up soon. Man United Huddersfield will have a preview will be coming up either tonight or tomorrow. As I said, it is 3 o'clock Boxing Day. Huddersfield have got a few injury problems going into that game. Huddersfield have got Aaron Mui out. Aaron Mui, if you call him. They've got Tom Smith out. They've got Daniel Williams out as well, and they've got a few other injury problems. Should be Manchester United win quite comfortably. Obviously Huddersfield are 19th in the table. As I said, played 18. They've only won 2 out of 18 games and drawn 4 all season, so they are a very, very poor outfit. Huddersfield have obviously the manager's David Wagner or or whatever you call his second name. Obviously been manager of Huddersfield since 2015. Obviously he used to manage the Borussia Dortmund reserve team as well, did David Wagner. But as I said, last 3 meetings, Man United have won 2, Huddersfield have won 1. Huddersfield did beat us 2, was it, back in October 2017, something like that. We lost 2-1 at Huddersfield. We beat them at home 2-0. And the last meeting was in the FA Cup. We beat them at Huddersfield by 2-0 in the FA Cup as well. But as I said, that preview will be coming up either later tonight or tomorrow. As I said, probably one tonight. It'll be discussing with you more transfer rumours that are going on in the current process. So anyway, guys, that's everything's updated today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing, and take care. God bless. Take care. God bless, guys. I'll see you all again very, very soon. I'm out of here.